win the other night. It was good for us, and the day yesterday to just sort of grow from it, watch a lot of video, learn from our mistakes against Northwestern and the good plays we made, and then move on to Wisconsin. So Wisconsin is playing the best basketball probably of anybody in this league right now, as good as anybody, and they are. It's it's the same thing. You go back to a press conference 5 years ago. They play great defense. They're great. They're really timely with their three-point shooting. You've got to score over strong bodies all the time. They swing offense is very patient, and we have our work cut out to them like we have every time. We've usually played them tough, but it hasn't always resulted in wins. I watched last year's Big Ten championship game, and we were up on the final two team, well into the second half. So we're going to have to play even better than that because we're in Madison, where it's always been tough for anybody to win, including us.
Jacob?
Wisconsin's a team that kind of started the season off slow. Now they've won 9 of the last 10 or whatever it is. What are they doing, from what you've seen of them, what are they doing differently now that has them playing so well?
Well, I think Coach Gard said it after his win at Iowa. They've matured as a team. There was a lot of, they had some not good seniors. They had great seniors last year. They had 2 first-round draft choices. They're one team that has had very little attrition over time. But losing Decker was the first attrition they've had other than Utah left 4 years ago. That's the only guys they've ever had leave their program for any reason. So they've had this stability, yet that was probably the biggest transitional change they have ever had, was from last year to this year. And so everybody struggles through that. And so now they're playing, and they're playing together, and that's been the big difference, their overall basketball maturity.
Anything, I guess, from what everyone's used to seeing Wisconsin over the years, so consistent and constant, anything different under Gard? Not at all. We see very little difference right now. They're probably running a few sets more often than they have in the past, but that's just watching the last 2 games now against us. It's the most consistent carryover you probably ever would see. It's really it's great. I admire them the way they've done it, the way they've continued. They're never like rebuilding that program. I count on the roster. They have 18 guys on their roster, and 6 or 7 are in a red shirt at some point during their years. Now, obviously, some of them aren't on scholarship, but there's still that idea of having a great scout team of guys that are older. They're just a veteran team. This is the youngest team. To answer the question from before, the youngest team that they've had with some freshmen actually playing. I have my files of Wisconsin, and I was going through them, and the time we beat them here, it was pretty good by like 19 points straight versus first year. And there's Kaminsky. He played 4 minutes in the game. And it's just this is who they are. With Hayes, I've seen like a number of different kind of defensive matchups on him, but it seems like height might give him the most trouble. How do you view that defensive matchup?
Well, we can't give him the height, that's for sure. But we have guarded him with our 5-man last year. So with Vito Brown now, they're really playing, like we play with 2 small forwards right now. They're playing with 2 power forwards right now. So that we're going to get posted up. But the difference right now is that really now he can really shoot from 3 as well as post you up. They're doing more dribble post-ups where he'll get it at 15. We call it the organ music like the NBA. They just start grinding you down. There's no 5-second count. And they'll just dribble you into a foul. You go to foul line 7 or 8 times a game.
Tony?
You made mention to the players before the last game about the NCAA tournament. They came out a little tight. Is that something that you plan to keep emphasizing or kind of drop that?
I don't know if we came out tight. I mean, we didn't make some shots. Duncan missed 3 shots, you know what I mean? And they came out really strong. So, no, they know it. I don't think you have to emphasize it over. I think it was a time to emphasize this is an important game. But they, one of these, they got 2, Wisconsin will be a top 25 team probably come Monday. So being a top 25 team on the road, it has huge implications.
And just you personally, how does your stress level go up and down when you're on the quote bubble?
My stress level never goes down. It is always up. I mean, seriously, the Elon games and the games early in the season, that's the way I live my life. And it's a really unfortunate part of my personality after, over 1,000 games, but that's who I am. So I don't even notice the difference in it, actually.
Any updates on Karis?
Yeah, I don't expect him to practice the next 2 days. So he is, and then he'll make the trip with us, but something could happen. When on a road, we see you every two out of every 5 days, or 2 out of every 7 days. Things could change quickly, but right now I don't expect him to practice the next 2 days.
Brandon?
Obviously, the conversation the next 2 weeks are going to be constant about the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
It's
good to be in that. It's good to be. We weren't in that last year at this time.
And that said, when you are in that situation as a head coach, where do you kind of see your duty in terms of pitching your resume or lobbying for attention and types of things like that?
I mean, I have the same thing I've always had. I'm not doing any lobbying or doing anything. I am just basically to coach my team. The people on that committee are not listening to John Beilein or anybody else. They are in that room, they do their research, they know what they're doing. That's my hope, that there's no influence in this at all. I got great respect for the people in that room, and they do their homework. And if we're selected, we deserve to be in there.
No stating the case.
Pardon me?
No stating the case?
No. I already look at you got 30-some games, right, of how we perform, and then you got other teams. I don't know how other teams are performing. I'm not watching some of the other bubble teams and seeing if they think they're better than us, and the competition is just, there's too many intangibles involved in that.